So instead of typing all this out, and I'm happy to do it if you need it, I thought, well, I'll just do a video log. And just that way you can kind of get, maybe it'll help give a little bit more perspective that's not always seen in text. First, congratulations. I mean, I know when we spoke when we were in South Africa, you had some very specific goals, and and they're big, they're lofty goals, and but that's kind of the whole point in setting those goals. And I think you knew that the task at hand was going to be a lot, and you have worked extremely hard. So that's almost 10 months of work, and so to hit meet PRs and everything, and of course having a total PR, I mean, that's really the name of the game. And especially, once we become master age lifters, everybody keeps waiting for things to diminish, and it doesn't always have to be that way. So anyway, just some observations from what I saw. I would suggest for squat, I mean, I think you guys are really onto something there. I think you're going to have to learn how to be a little more aggressive and try to get, even with all the gear, getting pace into the hole where you can be as explosive as possible getting out. But I would look for things like your ab work, trunk work, like maybe even side bends, things like that are really going to help you maintain that stability when you get in the hole. But that seems to be the lift that's really come on. With your bench press, I think what I've had really good success with is the amount of work we do in the shirt. Now this doesn't take place of any raw work that you do, or like the decline work, but what really, to get the most out of the shirt, you have to become very adept in the shirt. And where I've had really good success with the guys is getting them to learn to touch lighter weights. And that seems counterintuitive, but what you learn is how to hold that positioning when the shirt is resisting you, and getting it to touch, learning how to touch. And then when you do touch, how you jam it off of the chest. So I have a guy that literally has been in the shirt for the second time, and he did 3 sets of 3 yesterday, paused with 70% of what he's hit in the shirt. And what we did, we knew that it was going to resist. He didn't touch any reps on the first set, but I'd have him dig just a little deeper each time. And the second set, I knew that if we were a little bit more aggressive, and he held the weight just a little longer, and he touched the third rep. Then the last set, he touched all 3 reps. So he in that period of time, he gained the confidence to deal with the stress of the shirt. But when he touched, and I'd say press, he's taking 70% and jamming it. And 70% in a shirt is a good amount more than 70% what he does out of the shirt. And so what you do is you get accustomed to pressing those weights and having to hold 70, 80, 90%, throughout what is an extended set versus, say, a raw triple. And these guys getting stronger. Adam, he did 95%, 3 sets of 3 yesterday. 95%. But we've been doing this with strongman. One of the things, just to give you guys, maybe something to talk about, and I've even thought about this. I've got a Zoom idea. One of the things I did with the strongman with the log clean and press is I broke the lift down. They do a clean only portion. They do a press only portion from rack or the jerk boxes, and then they do a bent row with it. It's all percentage based. So we had a period that I wanted them just to condition and break down a few things and work on certain aspects of different event training. And they took a standing press, push press out of the rack with a log. They all took a max. So we did 70, 75, 80, 85, and 90%. And the set and rep scheme was 3 sets of 3 with 70% like on day 1. drop 10% and do 6 reps. Then what I prescribed for 95% was 3 sets of up to 3 and then a set of 6. So at 95%, they were shooting for 3 sets of 3 and then a set of 6 at 85. And they all got it. So we went to 100%, and it was 3 sets of up to 3 and then 90% for 6. Some of them only got 3 singles with their old max from 7 weeks prior. 7 weeks. Now, these are guys that have been training log. And this is not some little miracle thing. It's not complicated. It's really simple. But some of them also got 3 sets of 3 with 100%. And everybody, there's like 6 of them, everybody got six reps with 90%. And it stands to reason that they got stronger. When you add the element of a shirt, now I'm not suggesting you do a set of 6, but we've had extremely incredible luck with doing triples. And so I think when when I look at your benches, especially the 405, the tempo to get it to touch is so much slower that I think you could use more weight and learn how to touch more aggressively and get adept at holding that groove, that you easily could look at a 20 to 40 pound increase, no question in my mind. The deadlift, the one thing that I would like to see is, now I know the suit it inhibits doing some of this, and I would look at a suit that everything is the same size except an inch added to the straps. Because what happens is your shoulders are pronated, and when you go to lockout, then you're pulling them back. I'd love to see if your shoulders were squared throughout the entire load, what that would do for you, especially as a sumo puller, because I think it would engage the lower part of the traps and all of the lats much, much quicker. Well, they would be involved throughout the lifts. It looks, because your shoulders are pronated, they don't really become fully engaged until you go through the transition point and it becomes above your knees. So I think there's a spot there. I think you should be pulling 600 pounds. That's really my opinion. There is no reason why you're not totaling over 1,600, regularly. So, but you can't complain with the results. You can't complain with the progress. And, and that's the thing. And the thing that I like is, what I don't want to diminish, you should be very proud of your achievements. But, like I said in the message, when you achieve what you've achieved and you can look and go, wow, I've got this much stuff to work on, that's actually a blessing, because it would really suck to have done this meet and then Josh go, well, that's it, buddy. That's the best we're ever going to be able to do with you. That would blow ass. And so, you've got some things to work on. I always suggest 1, maybe 2 things per lift to address, because what has gotten you to this point, we want to make sure that what's strong remains strong, and what seems to be the thing that's going to help you the most. You can have 3 or 4 lagging issues, but what your coaches need to help you with is what is the thing that needs to be addressed, become the priority. Trying to address too much at one time is not going to be the answer. So that is my input. I'm going to watch them again, and I'll look at things, and I'm going to make some suggestions on what to do with the decline work. And here's my idea. You should have the 3 of us, Josh, James, and myself, talking to you and what our approaches are and the things that we see, and you can talk about how in the past year, what you feel like you've learned, what you've taken from each coach, and why it's been, important. That might be interesting. I don't know. I may be full of shit, and that's okay too. So anyway, the big deal, you did it. You did the work, and you came through on game day, and you demonstrated, the fruits of all that labor, and that's what it's all about. So congratulations. All right, buddy. Take care. See you soon.